All right. Well, it is 7:02. So we will go ahead and at least get started. Welcome, everyone.
Bienvenidos a todos. Ya vamos a empezar.
አሁን 7 ሰዓት ከ2 ደቂቃ ሆኗል። አሁን እንጀምራለን። ሁላችሁም እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ።
Okay. And so interpretation is available. We have Amharic, Spanish, and sign language.
Ujú. Bueno, tenemos servicios de interpretación disponibles. Tenemos Amharic o amárico, español y lenguaje por señas americano.
የትርጉም አገልግሎት ይገኛል። አማርኛ፣ ስፓኒሽ እና የምልክት ቋንቋ።
Okay, I think we are set up and ready to go. Just wanted to make sure that we gave a little time for the adjustment. So today or this evening, we have our co-chairs, of course, who will introduce themselves. We have our family support services, Ms. Mary Beth Matsuranis, and of course, our community partners. We have Kat Malkati. She is, of course, a famous person to this group of people to talk about the calendar, of course. And then we have Think College with Mr. Wesley. All right, SECAC co-chairs. I know I saw Miss Amy Bloom.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. My name's Amy Bloom. I am a CCAC co-chair, and we have two boys. One is at Bethesda Elementary School in 5th grade, and we have an 8th grader at Westland Middle School who receives special education services. And I was unable to go, but I know that the PTA actually just hosted a meeting for 8th grade families about transition services. And that was something that came about just because I inquired and I knew a lot of families were asking. So don't be afraid to speak up and advocate, because sometimes it actually gets pretty direct results.
We're happy to do that. It's transition services.
Yay! I also just wanted to let everyone know, if anyone is interested, we've had a couple opportunities come up and the co-chairs have not been able to participate. So sometimes we're asked to join interview panels for central office staff positions. Sometimes we're asked to participate in other studies or panels or groups. And, we all are just volunteers and have busy schedules. And so it would really be a shame if there was no special education representatives at some of these. So if anyone is interested, I'm going to drop my email in the chat, and then you can email me and we could sort of talk offline a little more. We're definitely looking for people who have been to a few meetings before and are comfortable advocating for the community as a whole. So it might be something that has nothing to do with your personal child. Oh, and I already see interested people in the chat. That's awesome. So I'll put my email in there, and then you can reach out to me and we can talk a little more about it. I think that's all I have now. Thanks.
Thank you. Dr. Jianfeng Huang, are you with us? Don't think he is with us this evening. I do know that Miss Brooke Levy has shared with us that she is at a cheer competition for her daughter, so she will not join us. I'm sorry that she could not be with us, and I'm sure she is too, but family is important, so we wish her daughter well. Next slide, please. All right, Miss Matsuranis.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mary Beth Mansurianis. It's nice to see you all tonight. I am the Family Support Services Coordinator in the Department of Special Education. Just a couple of brief things tonight. Derek, if you go to the next slide, please. Just a reminder that every month, that's actually been a goal I've hit this year, so I'm pretty proud of it. I'm putting out a bulletin that has different workshops and trainings that are happening around the county. So we usually post that on the Family Support Center webpage, the Special Education Facebook page, and on X. And I will push out the March bulletin by March the 6th. So again, if you go to the webpage, you'll see it. I also want you to know that we have changed the date. I think we mentioned this last time, but we are going to have our spring special education family resource fair. We had originally looked at an April date, but we have now had to change it for a couple of reasons, but we're super excited about it. It's going to be Saturday, May the 10th, at Seneca Valley High School from 10 o'clock until 1. And this is the one that most of you are familiar with. It's the bigger one that we do. We have lots of community organizations that come. We offer some parent workshops. We have lots of fun activities for the kids. We're working on some food trucks. So it's a good, fun family time, but there's also lots of great information that you'll get. So I'm hoping that you all can carve out you don't have to be there for the whole time, obviously, but 10 to 1 on Saturday, May the 10th. The next one is, I just want to give you all a heads up about an amazing workshop that's being presented in March. It's a water safety workshop. So Derek, if you can go to the next slide, because I think that's where the flyer is. So we actually put the QR codes up. If you look on the one on the left, actually, can you go to the next slide? Because I think that, yeah, so this one, it's a collaboration with the police department, Autism Society, there's swim schools that are involved, and it's a really amazing presentation on how are we keeping our kids safe around bodies of water. And as all of you know, we've had lots of different tragedies that have happened. A lot of our kiddos are really, really attracted to water. And for some of our kids who wander, they find themselves in situations that don't always end well. So there's that, but then there's also just the notion of ensuring that our kids have some familiarity and safety around water in general. So this workshop, it's so important that we're actually offering it 3 different times. So it's the same workshop, but March 10th at 10 in the morning, March 10th at 1, and then March 11th at 6 p.m. So again, same content. So pick a time that works best for you. But there's lots of different resources that will be available. And we did push out the flyers in English, Spanish, French, and Amharic. But if you go back to the first slide now, Derek, where the QR code is there. If anybody wants to go ahead and take a picture of it now, it'll get you to the Google link. But you can also find it on my website. So that's one workshop that I wanted you to be aware of. And then the second one, it's actually, it's called Special Education Unlocked, and it really is a workshop specifically designed for parents of Black MCPS students. It is hosted by the Black Coalition for Excellence in Education. And they have a couple of different sessions planned. They have a guest speaker planned who wrote a book called Pour the Water about equity and justice in special education. So again, I think it would be a great workshop. Their target audience is again for parents of Black students, but I think most of you would find it helpful. So again, this is another one that you can find the registration on my page, or you could use the Scan Me link there. So again, those are just the 2 that we wanted to make sure that you knew. And then I think the last thing on that slide is really about, this is my page. And so across the carousel at the top, it has information. And then the last thing is just if you want to be on a distribution for my webpage and for when I push out either events or the bulletin or anything like that, just send me an email and I'll add you to my list. And Derek is giving you a little preview of what my site looks like. He's my big helper, so I appreciate it so much. But I think that that's everything that I needed to cover tonight. But I don't remember, because can we go back to the main screen? That slide to make sure I didn't skip anything.
You did a great job. You
Yeah, is
covered
that
it.
it? Okay.
You did. You covered it.
All right.
We're ready
Awesome.
for our partners.
Thank you
And
so much.
and absolutely. No, thank you. We'll start with Sharon Norcio from Rockville, the city of Rockville.
There we unmute. There we go. Hi, good evening, everyone. Yes, I was actually had to take my profile completely out of Zoom and rebuild it so that I could have my name, because it wouldn't let me detach from MoCo Rec. So my partner in crime from MoCo Rec is on here, so I will bounce it to her after we're done. But at the beginning of the chat, I'm happy to share that the City of Rockville Camp Guide is now out. So if you are interested in camps in the city of Rockville, registration has started. And the link is above, so there are lots of different things. Once you get in the site, you can also peek around at the swim lessons and other programs that are happening this spring. So there's a lot going on. We're super excited about that. For those of you that are familiar with Hometown Holidays, it is moving from Redgate over to the middle of Rockville Town Center. So physical access will be a little different this year. We are introducing a sensory tent, and we are in the process of getting all the parts and pieces together for that. So if it's a little overwhelming or you need a little quiet space, we will have that at Hometown Holidays this year. Lots of music and fun things happening. That will be Memorial Day weekend. So lots of things to poke around there. But way before that, coming up in April, and Mary Beth may have it on her site, but if not, I will send it to her again. We are doing the Shine Brighter event with Parks and Montgomery County Rec and Gaithersburg and a lot of the local recreation agencies. But this year we've added some more community partners, which are resources for parents. That will be at Wheaton Regional Park, and it is free for anybody who wants to come. We will have canines from both Montgomery County and Parks. We'll have the horses there. We'll have a bubble artist and face painting and all kinds of really fun stuff. So please feel free to join us. I will drop my we have a brand new program access email that IT just set up for us about a week and a half ago. So if you have any questions about inclusion and supports within the city of Rockville, please feel free to email me and I will get back to you. So lots of fun things happening. And if you have questions, please ask, because I'd love to help you find your way in your recreation time. And with that, I'm going to toss it over to Moco Rec and Megan.
Thank you, Sharon. So Montgomery County Rec is also still registering for summer camps for what's left. We started a little bit earlier than Rockville. So definitely check those out if you haven't made summer camp plans yet. We have our therapeutic rec camps, and we also have inclusion services for general camps. So lots of options there. I wanted to highlight a couple of our spring programs for therapeutic rec that are brand new and I'm pretty excited about them anyways. We have something called Parents Night Off, which is going to be a dual program. You, a parent, a caregiver, can come with a +1. That can be a sibling, that can be your partner, that can be a friend, or you can come by yourself, and you will have an art teacher teaching an art class, and you'll go through a paint process. It's from 6 to 8. So you'll get to have an art class with an art teacher, and in the same center, the therapeutic rec staff will be providing childcare and activities, physical activities, art activities, lots of fun things. Siblings are welcome. And if your child is not potty trained, since you'll be on site, it's okay. They can come as long as you're willing to step out to assist. So I'm really excited about that program. We also have brand new sensory-friendly karate classes starting, which is very exciting because I know the community has been wanting karate. So I'm thrilled to be partnering with Kaizen Karate. They're not running classes for kids without disabilities. They just wanted to serve our population, so I'm thrilled. We currently have 4 locations set up. It was very ambitious to set up 4 different locations, but I wanted to really get a pulse on the community and where we want to kind of plant the seed for karate. So Bauer Drive, which is in Rockville, has already filled, so that one's full, but we have it at Plumgar, which is up north. We have it at Good Hope, which is out east, and we have it at Silver Spring Rec and Aquatic Center down south. So if you're interested in karate, pick your location. We have art class coming out with an MCPS art teacher who's also a sibling of a child with or of a brother with autism, an adult, and he has done our therapeutic rec camps. He's absolutely wonderful. That's going to be out east as well. And then we have our music therapists coming back, but they're coming back with new classes. They're debuting musical story hour for the younger crowd, and then musical games for teens and tweens. So like think musical bingo, musical chairs, like very interactive and social. So that's kind of what's going on with us. We will also be at the Shine Brighter event. And I think I'll have time at the next meeting that we have to kind of tell you more about some events that are happening afterwards. So I'll save those.
Lots of good stuff. Thank you so much, Megan. Be careful now, I'm learning your name, so this is good. Very good. All right. I see a little bit of information and a few questions in the chat. Let me see what it was. It was, when is the Shine Brighter event?
The
April
Shine
5th.
Brighter event. Oh, go ahead, Sharon.
Sorry, I'm answering. It's April 5th,
Oh,
right? Did I do it wrong? Yeah, the Shine Brighter event is in Wheaton. It's at Wheaton Regional Park on April the 5th.
Okay, very good, very good. Autism Society, is there anything that you would like to share? I'm looking for our partners. Wait time. Do we have any other community partners that have information they would like to share? I know that this is a time where, oftentimes parents are looking for camps or summer opportunities. So just want to make sure that if there are partners on here, that they have an opportunity to share information. Okay, we can go to the next slide. It is now time for Kat Malcotti to talk to us about the Montgomery County Public Schools calendar for the 25-26 school year.
Hi, I'm Kat. Thank you for having me back. I love listening to everyone too. I used to do the May workshop with Alice Wright when I was a math teacher. We would co-present together. So I definitely have very fond memories of doing that. I am Kat Malchotti. I'm the executive director for district operations. We do buses, banana bread, buildings, books, blizzards, and bell times. That was the newest one that they added to my list last week. So we do all things operations. And one of the biggest projects that we start early in the year, where I got to come and see you in the fall, is about the school calendar. And so I'm coming back because one of the new things that was added for next year is this student transition day. Dr. Taylor, our new superintendent, had done it in his past 2 school districts and was very excited to bring it to MCPS. And it is a day before the first day. So the Monday that would typically be the first day, that's really like an orientation day for students who are in those transition grades. So kindergarten, 6th grade, and 9th grade. The idea is to really welcome people who may have anxiety or may feel overwhelmed. Also do some sort of connections with their families who also may be feeling that way as well. And to really sort of give them a leg up to start the year in a positive way. We just put out the save the date. I think it went out today. I had it all set and ready to go. There'll be sort of a continuation of communication from now through the beginning of the school year, because it's something that's so new, and Dr. Taylor is very excited about it. We made a little video. There's an Instagram reel for it. I think they just put out the regular message today, and I have like a little survey for people if they want to share any information. But we are just going, yes, I see that question. Yes, the schools that are 3 to 5, yes, we'll have their 3rd graders go. Yes, I can drop the survey in. And again, it's in, if you get the MCPS Thursday things to know, it went out today. The thing that's going to be important, and the thing I'm working on now, is working with schools to make sure that their individual communities are represented in this process. So that way it's not so cookie cutter that they can't do something that would really be impactful or meaningful for their own community. For example, our Arcola Elementary School is our only innovative school. Their transition day is July 7th. So we're doing something completely different for them because theirs occurs 2 months before everyone else, and they have an innovative school calendar. I have a weekly standing meeting with a group of elementary school principals. We meet every Monday at 10 o'clock and we're planning so that way they have enough structure to put forth this new initiative, but also enough creativity and flexibility to make it something that is best for their community. So what we really wanted to do with this is take the idea and run with it, but also give people a chance to do something special. And so we meet every Monday, like I said, and really trying to plan for this. And when I was going back and looking at a lot of the groups that I connect with for the calendar build, it really occurred to me that this would be an important group to bring this to, because when I have been going to schools and meeting with students and talking to them about what would make the first day feel special, what do you wish your first day had been like, or talking to fifth graders, what are you nervous about for next year going into sixth grade? I hear a lot from the kids and that's been wonderful, but not every kid can express that in the same way. So I wanted to make sure that we connected with a lot of families who may be able to provide some insight. I saw the question. Is this a trial year? I hope not. I think what we're trying to figure out is what it looks like to sort of enact it, because historically we've had those Thursday orientation days for middle school and high school where you could go in for a couple hours, and the elementary schools do these like little open house things. And what we found was that people do really different things, and they wanted to sort of make some general guidelines so that everyone had a certain level of expectation for what we were looking for, but also some flexibility. So I think it's just the idea that it's new, and we're really trying to work with the schools to make sure that they feel supported in this, because sometimes it's hard to really feel supported when we have over 200 schools. Yes, it is all schools are doing it. What we're doing now is trying to figure out what works best. So for some communities, they may welcome families at some time during the day. They may welcome some of the older students later in the day to do like a little sneak peek. We're all kind of working together now. That's why I have this big group to figure out some of the things that they're thinking of, so that we can really, provide as much creativity as possible. Every student is coming to school. Well, no, so it is transition
I'm really
day.
confused.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
so if you go back to my slide, it's for those transition grades, so K6 and 9.
So my
So it would be that's Monday, August 25th. And then the first day of school for everyone would be Tuesday, August 26th. And so this was an interest of the superintendent. And then when we presented to the board who adopts the calendar, they decided that they wanted it to be a full day with full day options for transportation. And so that's really where this came from. We're also working with the schools to kind of incorporate things like, what if you have some fourth graders who are new to MCPS, but they don't quite fit into that mold of the kindergarten groups? How to work with them so that they feel welcome, but maybe not, sort of moving around with the kindergartners for the day. So really trying to make sure that we're thinking of all those different nuances of it. But as I said, the superintendent is very excited. He came with me to Arcola when we did our first kind of kickoff meeting with them to talk about it. And, we're excited to do something different that's really welcoming. I taught middle school for many years. I taught high school for many years. I always taught 6th and 9th grade. I have a 9th grader this year. And so, yeah, it's something different. And we're really trying to make sure that we socialize it early and get a lot of feedback so that we can try to make the best version of it for the first year. And I think I saw one more question. Okay, so the usual open houses, that's a great question. So the reason that my elementary school principals and I have this group together is because right now we're talking through things like that. Some of the schools want to be able to do things they've done historically, and some of the schools want to try something different now that this is an option. So it's going to be different through different communities, but all communities will have ways to welcome students who are in the transition grades, as well as to welcome the rest of the students. It just may look a little different based on sort of what their needs are and what their traditions are. I don't know if any of you are aware of like the reimagining back to school night came about a couple years ago. And so some of the schools do very different things. And some communities have really sort of been excited about that. And other communities are like, whoa, we just like are running through the classes and meeting each teacher and getting their names and going home. So it's, it's hard when you try to normalize something for over 200 schools, but we really want to have flexibility, but also enough structure that it's meaningful. It is not a day of instruction. It's really a day to have people, really opportunities to interact with other students, opportunities to interact with staff, kind of learning about some of the social norms and structures so that they feel more comfortable. When I went to talk to the kids the first couple weeks of school, they all said to me, I wish we could have a day without all the big kids here. And so, we're really trying to see what we can do to make this special. But I really wanted to offer an opportunity for anyone who wanted to give me feedback based on their experience as a parent in this group, because that's, an interest of mine in terms of making sure that we consider all different opportunities and all different experiences. So you have my name. I'm the only Catherine Malchody in the entire MCPS school system. As I said, I'm working with all the elementary school principals. So we have kind of representatives from, the primary schools, the K-2, the 3-5, the K-5, some of the schools that are primarily serving students who receive special education services. And so we're working with all of them, but I just wanted to offer you the opportunity to reach out. You can do it through the survey or to just email me and, just kind of share anything that you want to talk about, so that I have that in context as we work through this. And as I said, my principal group meets every Monday. We're meeting through the beginning of the school year. They're very excited about it. They're great. We're doing sample schedules on this coming Monday. So we have a plan for each week and lots of guidance. And, I'm hoping it'll grow over time, but it's a lot to do something new. And so we really just wanted to make sure that people were aware of it and they understood the intent behind it, and that we got to enough different groups that we work with to make sure that we've heard different voices. So that was it. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen, and just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Kat. I want to make sure that I know Miss Battle had her hand up, but I think you may have answered her question as you went along. But Miss Battle, do you still have another question?
I mean, not really a question, more around just the survey. So I'm going to go in and take the survey because I have some thoughts around it just as a parent who works and just doesn't have enough paid time off to take more days off to have care for kids. And so I really think about just equity for working parents as well, who may not have care for children and have to, I'm already struggling with the 2 weeks between when most kids camps end and that week of the 11th and the week of the 18th are really difficult. And it's like now another day to not have my children in school and to find more care. So I offer that as just from a working parent perspective. Both of us are working, and my in-laws are older and not watching, it's just, I just wanted to put that out there, that not just parents of special educators, I'm sure there are other parents dealing with the same thing. And that's why I kind of asked about the trial. And then I was confused, like, what do you mean? It's all students? And so I got confused when I was looking at the chat and hearing from you, but it's just transitional grades. And not that it's a trial, but you'll probably offer some time for feedback. So I'll go on the survey, and I just wanted to share my thoughts.
Absolutely.
Thank
And if you
for
want to reach out to
honoring
me
me.
directly, you by all means,
I appreciate
go
that.
for it. And you know, I've
Thank
been
you.
elevating things that have come up that you are not the only person who has said that. And we have elevated that in different ways. For sure. For sure. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Battle. And Kat, if you could just put your information in the chat one more time, that would be fantastic. Your contact information. Okay, next slide, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Derek Wesley. I am a technical assistance consultant for Think College. And tonight I'm going to talk to you about college transition planning for students with intellectual disability. Next slide, please. So think about why you went to college. Think about from the time you were in elementary school through middle school into high school, and the dreams that you had and what you thought about future-wise. So unfortunately, too many people with intellectual disabilities until very recently did not have that option. And so we at Think College are doing our best to make sure that everyone, especially those with intellectual disabilities, have the opportunity to go to college. All right, next. So just to give you a little background on inclusive higher education, if we think back 50 or 60 years or so, a lot of folks who now, young men and women who have the opportunity to go to college, would have found themselves in an institution or working some job, hopefully something they enjoyed, but really not maximizing their potential. And so, next slide, please. Up until the year 2008, when the Higher Education Opportunity Act was reauthorized, it sort of rewrote the book on opportunities for individuals with intellectual disabilities. So the HEOA reauthorization created what we call comprehensive transition programs. And even more so, they created 5-year grants to help create inclusive programs, to form consortiums at colleges and universities through TIPSID. It made FAFSA eligibility a thing. So young men and women, individuals with intellectual disabilities who would not have been able to obtain financial aid were able to do so through the Higher Education Opportunity Act. And then what it also did was form the National Coordinating Center. So Think College, and so that includes research and supports for schools, individuals, and families looking to find a program. Next slide. And so when we think about frequently asked questions about eligibility for students with autism, so many students in these programs have autism, but they also have to have a diagnosed intellectual disability. And so what we mean for those individuals is they have to have that co-occurring documented intellectual disability, which most of you here know, if not all of you, that it's a significant cognitive impairment with a significant limitation in cognitive functioning and limitations in adaptive behavior. But I would tell anyone who's looking to really talk to the representatives from the individual programs because there will be additional specific criteria. Next. And so when we look at transition post-secondary programs for students with intellectual disability, or TIPSIDs, so those are funded by the U.S. Department of Ed. There's grant-funded model demonstration projects that develop and expand inclusive higher education options for people with intellectual disability. And we also provide technical assistance and evaluation from the National Coordinating Center. Right now, many of us are working on creating a set of credentialing strategies for people so that we have more uniformity across the board. And so that accreditation process, I believe, is being piloted at 3 schools currently. And if you are interested in that, please make sure to reach out to me at the conclusion of this presentation. All right, next. So when we think about comprehensive transition programs, or as we like to say, CTPs, we first have to understand that these programs, these post-secondary programs, many of them refer to them as inclusive higher ed programs or inclusive post-secondary education programs. But when you specifically talk about a comprehensive transition programs, that means that it's going to have additional features that just a regular IPSI might not have. And remember that CTPs, above all else, remove barriers. You are able to attend even without a standard high school diploma. Many CTP programs have what really amounts to a dual credit, dual enrollment situation where they're attending high school. They might be in an 18+ program. They might be in those years after the traditional 4 years. They don't necessarily have to be matriculating towards a degree, while some students in CTPs have gone on to earn credentials, associate's degrees, and even bachelor's degrees. And those students will take modified coursework and credit hours. Next, please. So when you look at where we've come from 2008 until now, back then there was no legislative support. There were fewer than 100 programs, no standards, no funding, little or no research. And now in 2025, there's 123 federally funded model demo sites. Since I sent the slides in, they've added another program. So there are actually 356 IPSI programs. And Wyoming last month finally added their program. So they are in all 50 states now. And so, like I said, we're working towards those program accreditation standards, and over 70 million in federal funding has gone to improving these programs. And then 9 states have adopted their own internal state funding. And we are putting together a wealth of information in the form of research, now including info on over 4,000 students. Next. Next slide. So when we talk about inclusive post-secondary education, remember, depending on the institution of higher learning, it could look different. Many are located at 2-year community colleges, tech schools, and like I mentioned earlier, there might be local K-12s that partner with those community colleges and tech schools, and then you have the programs that are at some of the big name or major universities throughout the country. They're able to attend classes, participate in campus activities, and many of them are able to do federal work study, and then other inclusive settings where they work with their neurotypical peers. And depending on the program, the focus could be on career preparation, and then they make sure to include independent living and community engagement in those programs as well. Next. And so really drilling down that college course engagement, there are, just depending on the school and which academic programs are available, those students, our students, are able to participate in those classes, and they have an individualized plan of study or certain earmarks or objectives that the student themselves, most importantly, the program, faculty and staff, and then the professors sort of agree on and to really support the students in that. There's also internships, and I mentioned work study through FAFSA, paid jobs both on and off campus. Just very recently, several students with intellectual disabilities have joined Greek letter organizations. And then also finally, that living independently piece. I think a good number of these programs have students that live on campus. Some commute, but many live on campus. And that's an extremely beneficial experience for our students. Next. So if you look at the map, and I'm sorry, this is the August 2023 map. I have a more updated one, but there aren't many differences other than, Wyoming having added their program. I think Florida has a few more. California has a few more. But if you look, it's all over the country. And then there are certain states where there's a larger concentration that tends to follow population trends, possibly with the exception of California, but there are a ton of programs situated along the coast. I believe Texas has a few more programs as well. But inclusive post-secondary education isn't going on anywhere. And I believe in 2022, we were up to about 320 or so. And so just in the last 3 years, that's over 30 plus programs that have been added. So when you check the website, from month to month, you see the number continue to rise. All right, next slide, please. And so Think College is it is based out of the Institute for Community Inclusion at the University of Massachusetts in Boston. And it is a national technical assistance research and evaluation center. And its primary goal, prime directive, is to develop, expand, and improve higher ed for students with intellectual disability. Next, please. So the two main centers, there's the National Coordinating Center, which provides that coordination, technical assistance, and training, and it evaluates the programs. And on the other side, the Think College Inclusive Higher Education Network, it disseminates the research and best practices for improving it and expanding these post-secondary education opportunities. And so on that side of the house, there are trainings, work groups, and public awareness activities. And again, all of this, if you go to you just simply put Think College, search into Google or whatever your search engine is, and then they'll come up and you'll be able to locate these resources. And there are a ton of resources, from the college search that we showed you that had the map, to links to parent groups, support, information on institutions that are looking to create these programs. I'd recommend it to anyone. Just spending 10, 15 minutes on the site, you could learn whatever you were looking for. All right, next, please. And so here is, on the next slide, I think you're able to scan it. I think that is active. You go to thinkcollege.net and it'll take you there, and there's information, videos, and links. Next. And one more. So when thinking about what we can do for you, specifically, like I spent several years as a transition specialist, as a transition educator, working with the entire feeder pattern for the high school I was housed at, and that also included the 18 plus programs for the students that were working specifically towards their education, employment, and independent living goals of their transition IEP. And Think College can be especially useful. If transition specialists and educators want to obtain information to share with families and with students, Think College is a good place to go. And then you see one of these thought bubbles here when it talks about the administration not thinking about college for their students. It's a wonderful resource to share with the administrators, assistant principals, building principals, to help them understand. And then also, if you'd like, you can reach out to us and we'd be happy to speak to those administrators, especially if you're a parent or an advocate and you would like your high school to start thinking about college for your son or daughter and their classmates. We'd be happy to speak to them, to do like a professional development. And then also in preparation of IEP goals to support college preparation, Think College would love to share that information, to spread the word. Next, please. And so I've mentioned the college search several times. This is a screenshot of the website. If you click that student and families, resources or any of those tabs, you just take some time to situate, to get acclimated with it. You'd be able to find whatever information that you are looking for. And next slide, please. Yes, so in here is an example of the different information. You can look at admission criteria, different fees, tuition, and financial aid information, inclusion with the campus, different academics, information on housing, supports, programs, communication, career development, and really educate yourself on what's out there. Next, and then you're even able to access the advanced search. You're able to collate and select, like search for programs specifically by disability, public and private, course credit, type of school, program length. You really can find whatever you're looking for. Next. And so these four ladies are the core of the technical assistance and training team. Dr. Chelsea Stennett, Kate Weir, Dr. Meg Regal, and Dr. Claire Pape all are wonderful resources and have been doing this, especially Dr. Regal, Pape, and Weir, along with Dr. Stennett, have decades of experience doing this work. So if you need something, whether it is targeted technical assistance, experience guidance, or just you have a question for the help desk, please visit the website or reach out. And on the next slide, there is some contact information. Yeah, if you send an email to thinkcollegeta@gmail.com, someone will get with you quickly. So that is, are there any questions? There are more slides, but I want to pause to see if anyone has any specific questions.
Derek, there was one question in the chat.
Yes.
And are you able to see it, or I can read it? You know,
is that from Charlotte Snyder?
You got it.
Okay, so let me see. Oh, I spoke to, we have someone from that works policy and had notes because I figured someone would ask that. I know right now they're pressing forward. I don't have a definitive answer, but it is probably the number one question that everyone has about that. As of right now, we haven't heard anything, but I think once they've decided, you know, what the Department of Education is going to do, then we should have more information. But as for now, Think College and what we're doing, everything will remain the same as far as we know. And you know, I'm not uncomfortable answering. You know, no, that is a more than legitimate question. But for right now, nothing is changing that I know of. Yes. All right, if you will go down to, I believe it is slide. The last thing I want to share, I believe it's slide 36. There. Yes, so that's the thing I will leave you with. Please go here if you have specific questions and join the Think College Families Facebook page. I think it's the fastest way to get information, and it's very active. It's moderated very well, and I think for everyone here, I think that would probably be the most useful tool outside of the just going to the website. That seems to have the most information. And then to sort of close out, I just want to remind everybody of, go to the last slide. A lot of questions about what we do. This was kind of a general information starter, but if you have specific questions, there's a lot of the information that people need is individual and specific to their child. So I would encourage everyone to either reach out to us to visit www.thinkcollege.net or send an email to thinkcollegeta@gmail.com.
Thank you, Derek. And I posted both of those in the chat. These slides will also be uploaded to our SECAC website within the next few days. So you'll have access to all of the information that was shared tonight.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Okay, we are close to the end. I appreciate everyone's time and certainly their patience. Amy, I want to make sure I give you an opportunity for any closing messages or words that you might share with the parents tonight and family members and guardians.
Just thank you everyone for attending. Thank you to you guys for making these meetings happen. And to all of our speakers and community partners, we're really grateful you're here and sharing all this information. And I did just want to kind of remind everyone to hang in there. I know our family's not the only one that's impacted or on pins and needles about federal government employment. I know we're all a little worried and stressed about budget cuts and whatnot. And I just wanted to remind you that our children are really perceptive to our emotions. So just remember to take care of yourself and to model for them how to be calm and have some fun through all of this. And, you know, don't hesitate to reach out to your guidance counselors to share if you are going through some big transitions in your home that will impact your students.
Thank you, Amy. The only thing that I would add is to make sure you continue to pay close attention to the upcoming budget meetings that will be held. I believe it is within the next 2 weeks that the budget that was approved by the Board of Education will then go to the County Council. So please make sure that you take time to listen and review any of the documentation. You know, we need your advocacy for special education. It becomes very important for all of you as well as us. So with that said, thank you very much for coming this evening, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you to our interpreters. Take care, everybody.